There we go. Are we back? Are we back? Can people see me? So far, as of me resetting the modem, resetting my computer, resetting the router, resetting everything, I have not had any problems. So we'll see. We'll see. But, prayers, everybody. Prayers, everybody. All right, we got people pouring in. Thank you to everybody who was so patient. Really appreciate that. This wasn't supposed to be a two-part stream. It was just supposed to be one long, continuous stream, but we're pivoting. We're working on it. It's okay. It's okay. We'll get there eventually. Hello to everybody who's back. Does everything look okay, by the way? Sound, picture, everything? Please let me know if it's fucked up again so I can fix it. Now, we do have a couple minutes before this game starts. Now, I don't know how much you guys heard from the previous stream where I was trying to explain this slip. And again, we did hit on the first one. We won about $900 on the first one, so we're trying to go 2 for 2 here. We got Purdy lower than 1.5 passing touchdowns, McCaffrey higher than 68.5 rushing, Dak higher than 1.5 passing TDs, CD higher than 76.5 receiving, and Kittle higher than 48.5 receiving. If we hit all 5, we win $3,500. If we hit 4 out of 5, we still win about $900. Same as the previous game. We hit 4 out of 5 last time. If you guys want to tail this slip, link down in the description below. Promo code Brett. Match your deposit up to $100. You can use it for this. You can use it for the conference championship week that's coming up. Obviously, I'll have a lot of slips for conference championship week that we can work on together. Super Bowl, any other sports, basketball, hockey, baseball, whatever. Esports. You can use it for anything on the site. You can even use it for best ball fantasy, whatever you guys want. So hopefully we can do 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5 on this slip too and get out of the night with like $2,000. It's not bad. That'll pay for floors, right? I'll take the win. What are the picks? You see them on screen right now over on your right, my left. So again, that's Purdy under 1.5 passing TDs, McCaffrey higher than 68.5 rushing, Dak higher than 1.5 passing touchdowns, CD higher than 76.5 receiving yards, and Kittle higher than 48.5 receiving yards. Underdog is at the link in the description below. I don't know if you guys can hear my cat feverishly scratching on the door, begging to get in here. So I'm going to go let him in, or he will keep doing that for the next 3 hours. Okay. And now he's up. Okay. That's all he wanted. He just wanted to be on my lap. All right, let's catch up on some super chats here. Josh Hall for $2. Do you think the Dolphins should have fired Boyer? I mean, I think Boyer's a fine defensive coach. I just think that his scheme, left their DBs out to dry a lot in terms of asking them to be out on islands with no help. And so it was not a very DB-friendly scheme. And, when Byron's out all year and X is getting older and Noah Monogany hasn't quite turned into what you hope for, and, your secondary is basically being held together by Javon Holland and some duct tape, it's not a friendly scheme for what they have, right? So I understand why they moved on. He's still a good coach. I could see him going back to New England where they have, still a lot of man-heavy aspirations as a defense and being just fine. Or I could see him going and coach somewhere else. It just wasn't a good fit for what Miami has, right? I think you can get away with running that scheme when Byron's healthy and when X is at his best. But that's about it. That's about it. Fatty sightings over 1.5. He'll probably mosey his way on in here eventually. This is Little that's on my lap, by the way. Which he's not really little. He's also fucking gigantic. But of the two, he's the smaller one. He is a rather large cat, I'm not going to lie. All right, I won't torch you anymore. I know. You're just old and you want a nap. I get it. Me too, bud. Me too. If you're a Fangio, where do you go? He'll probably be either in Philly or San Francisco, are the two most likely destinations. And it just depends on where is D'Amico leaving to get a job, or is Gannon leaving to get a job. If one of those guys gets hired, or both of those guys gets hired, I think those are its only likely destinations. If neither of them gets hired, Minnesota probably, and then maybe Carolina as like the fourth option. But if he's not going to be a DC in Minnesota, he'll. I could just see him staying in Philly as a consultant, to be honest. And there goes Little, of course. Hello, hey fellow Giants fans. Can we let Dable draft his own guy? Why should he be saddled with the next Alex Smith? Come on, guys. I do think that there's merit to that. You know, Shane and Dable did not draft Daniel Jones, you know. So if they like a guy better in the draft, they should be allowed to choose their own quarterback, right? Like they should not have their job security tied to a guy that they might not have chosen over somebody else. So I trust them to make the decision that is best for them. And if that decision is insert other veteran or rookie, fine. But I would agree with the notion that they didn't draft Daniel Jones, so they should at least get the option to decide if he actually is who they want to be there, right? Catch up here. Davey for $5. With all the problems the Vikings had on defense this year, mainly an immediate impact player, should the Vikings trade up for Jalen Carter? That would be an expensive trade up. You're going from, 25 to 4? 3 or 4? Because Carter's not going past 4. That's really expensive. That's 2 first-round picks and probably 2 second-round picks for a 3 technique. Like, I love Jalen Carter. I think he's phenomenal. I'm not paying that much for him. Hell no. And I think if you really want to stop the run, that big boulder of a man from Baylor you got a better chance of him being there. Is John Fassel talking shit to Trent Williams? What was that about? That's fucking weird, right? All right, let me throw the score bug up here since kickoff is going. Little's just going to hang out in the background with us for a little while. There's your cat sighting, guys. I know you wanted it. And there's kickoff. Trent and Debo were talking to Maher pregame. Oh, okay, I see. So Fassel came over to defend his guy. All right, let's see what the Niners got for us on the first drive. But more importantly, I want to see what the Cowboys defensively have for us on the first drive when they see 21 personnel, because Juszczyk is on the field, and this is the first snap against a fullback they have faced since week 8. Believe it or not. It's been like 3 months. So they are in a 4-2-5 nickel. How about that? With Micah on the weak side edge. Great job playing it front side. 4-2-5 nickel against 21. Goddamn. That's ballsy. Well, specifically against the Niners 21 personnel, right? Like that's not something you see every day. To match it in nickel and get a no-gainer on the first play. All right. Still 21. Still in nickel. Oh, Micah blew that one up. you see he got in the path and forced Purdy to pull it down? And it looks like he was playing over Kittle. This is a totally different look than what I expected because they're in nickel. So because they're in nickel, it's kind of like it's a 4-2-5, but since Micah's standing, maybe you want to call it a 3-3-5. I consider it a 4-2-5, right? It's just the strong side edge is standing up, but Micah's playing the strong side edge because it's nickel, so they're putting him over Kittle. That's fascinating that they're not matching it with base. Takes guts to do that, though. Right? It takes a lot of guts to do that. But it worked. They got him off the field. All right, let me erase this. I'll show you guys kind of what they're looking at. Because this is it's just a mess. I gotta get a better eraser. If any of you are teachers and know of like really good whiteboard erasers, please let me know. Mine's not good. All right. Ooh, that punt almost got blocked. So I'm just gonna diagram this while Dak's out there. Actually, it's a little shallow. So is Dallas out there in 2 back? No, they're in 12. Wing slot right. A little bit of motion. Niners in 2 high, so their quarter's first down. Run, Dak. Nice PBU. All right. So we got this, and then let's go to Y. Wow, that's a shitty Y, Brett. Come on now. Jesus. First and 20 here after the hold. Now they're in 11 against pretty clear cover 2. No, they're in quarters, backing out. No, they rotated down to cover 3. How about that? They showed like 3 looks in 5 seconds. All right. So let me get this drawn up, and the next time the defensive comes out, I'll highlight it. Second and 14. Trips to the field. Great job by Dak. Sitting in the pocket, process it, come back to the comeback late. Because he knows it's a later developing route, so he has time to get to it late. Good job. All right, first and 10 again here for the Cowboys. They bring in an extra offensive lineman, kind of look like it. But there's Fred anyway. Fred again. It's a deep cut music reference that maybe like 5 of you will get, but that's fine. God, just blasted right in there. All right, second and 12. Kind of looks like, well, safeties are wider. This might be cover 2 here. Nope, they came back to 3 weak again. They do a good job of rotating those safeties really late into cover 3. Uh-oh. Oh, no. McGovern just got leg whipped. That hurts like a motherfucker. I feel bad for him. Those leg whips hurt, man. refresh your stream of the game? All right, I'll do that after this play because I might be a little bit behind you guys. Oh, God. Bosa just got tossed on his ass. Did you guys see that? First of all, let me refresh this game. Was that Tyron at right tackle, right? I think that's where he's at. Let me double check that. I'm pretty sure that's where he's at, is right tackle. Yeah. Well, Tyron just manhandled Nick Bosa like crazy. Why is Bosa lining up on Tyron? Shouldn't he be lining up against Tyler? Bosa just typically his most common alignment is left defensive end. So, I don't think they exclusively want to just put him at right the whole game because he does play mostly left. But then again, Tyron's not your average right tackle. So maybe it would be wise to move him. So I'm on a commercial right now. You guys are on commercial too, right? Just to make sure we're in the right spot. Wow, my cat is fucking knocked out, huh? Hey, bud. He just glared at me. Yes, Tyron is at right tackle. Tyler Smith is at left tackle. So what I'm curious is if we see some more kind of 4-2-5 nickel against this two-back stuff again in the second series. I'm curious to see if Dallas stays with it and how Kyle Shanahan adjusts, because so far they've not made any hay against it. What I do find fascinating is kind of the opposite. In base, I would have thought Micah in a 5-2 structure would have been the weak side edge, but because they're in nickel, they're putting him at the strong side against Kittle, right? Doesn't necessarily mean that he's in coverage duty on Kittle, but he is matching up with him on the strong side. And then you've got a 3, and it looked like a 2-eye from broadcast view. I don't know if it was a shade or if it's a 2-eye, but from a 4-2-5, it's probably a 2-eye. Then you got Mike, Will, and the end, which, depending on where the fullback is lined up, the end will be in a different spot. Because if the fullback is here, you don't want the end to be all the way, because then you're giving like 2 fucking bubbles, right? So if the fullback is here, like on the first play, the end will be in kind of like a heavy 5. And then you got the safeties too. There'll be 2 safeties deep. I'm curious to see how they match up with it, if they still stick with nickel. Because if they're playing nickel into big personnel all day long, that is not what I expected at all. So we'll see. We'll see what they bring out. You refresh the stream just for it to stay 2 minutes behind like before. Yeah, sounds about right. Welcome to watching on a VPN, right? Why aren't you a coach? I am not smart enough to be a coach. No way. All right, now we're bringing out a heavier personnel packet. No, it's still nickel. That's 6. That's not a linebacker. Okay, that was still nickel. Same alignment. But this backside end looks to be one of their big bodies. I couldn't tell if that was Dorrance, but it looks like we got 3 thick boys and then Micah playing strong side edge. And then 5 DBs on the field. Fascinating. Really fascinating. So I think it was D-Law, Hankin, or was it Osa? 90? No, it was 97. So 95, 91, and then who's the other? 95, 91, and 90. So it's D-Law, Hankins, and Carlos Watkins as your D-line out there with Micah at strong side edge against 21. Okay. Lawrence is injured? I didn't see that. Wasn't he just out there? Did I miss him? Oh, there it is. He's holding something, holding his knee. That's not good. All right, so now we got Osa, Hankins, Micah's weak side edge now against 11. And there's Kittle. So against 11 personnel, they got Micah playing weak side. Against 21, we got Micah playing strong side. I wonder what it looks like against 12. Probably still strong side. Fascinating. Okay, so if D-Law's out, maybe you stick in 11 and then always have Kittle on the other side of Trent so that Trent is handling Micah, and then you dare everybody else to beat you. That could work. There's that counter. They don't call counter a lot. They call counter like 6% of the time. So it's an interesting little tendency breaker there. This is a very fascinating development in terms of how they're matching up. And this was the part of the game that really intrigued me because the Cowboys have not faced an offense like this one, right? So it's such a new thing. All right, Micah's 21 personnel, still strong side edge. We're still in nickel, even without D-Law. Oh, Micah. You gotta take Purdy. You don't want him to. Oh, he almost picked it. That was what I was talking about, though. That's why I want Micah on Purdy. You gotta have him take away the boots. He cannot crash down inside on the run fake. Although I guess if you're a nickel, if you only have a 4-man surface, you kind of have to. I was talking about it from base. Nickel's differently. I get it. But that's why I wanted to play it from base, is so that you have Micah free to go after Purdy so that those shot plays don't happen. Luckily, they broke it up, but we'll see. Again, early in the first quarter, just things to note, things to file away for later in the game. Either way, these DBs from the Cowboys are playing aggressive. They're all over these dudes. Good to see D-Law back, though. Love to see it. You got 900 people in here. How about that? And we are most of the way on our Kittle slip. We at 48.5. He's already at 31, so I'm feeling good about that. And another punt forced. I can't remember what the over-under on this game was. It's like 50-something, right? 54? If somebody knew what the over-under was, please let me know. I can't remember what it was. Can't wait for the inevitable Debo end-around TD. It depends. If it's against a middle field close structure, probably. But if they're going to stick in this 4-2-5 nickel and play too high, it's a lot harder for those end-arounds to hit. Because when two safeties, just to diagram it real quick, if two safeties are deep, right? So let's go free safety, strong safety. If Debo's in motion and then we're doing like an orbit off like a fake run here, like, or I guess it would be inside zone, but anyway, if we get Debo on the orbit, as soon as he goes, these guys are rotating, right? It's automatic. We're getting into middle field close. Strong safety comes down, and then Debo's on the strong safety. And so you got corner forcing outside, safety filling. Let's just say it's Micah. You know, so we got leverage inside, leverage outside, safety fill the tunnel. So if you're playing in a too high structure, it's actually a lot harder for those Debo end arounds to hit. If you're playing in middle field closed, like a static middle field closed before the snap, if he's here and then he's already here, it's harder to go from here and getting through traffic than it is to come from depth and width, right? So it's better to run it if it's already like a declared middle field closed structure rather than a middle field open. If it's middle field open, you don't want to call that shit because they'll out leverage you outside. But we'll see. $46.5 was the over under. Okay, that's what. Oh no, I was thinking of the other. The other one was like 50 something for Bills Bengals. That's what it was. Yeah, 46.5. That seems fair. I would probably go slight under just based on my expectations of this game because I thought that the 49ers offense would come down to earth a little bit against the Cowboys defense. So I probably would have gone slight under, but that seems like a fair line regardless. Imagine Goofy saying Brandon Ayuk. All right. Let me catch up on super chats. Make sure I didn't miss any. Vikram for $5. Thank you, Vikram. Smoking that Bills pack. Pats might suck, but the Bills won't win a ring. Oh, brutal. That's so mean. All right, coming out here, responding with their own 13, or no, is that 22 personnel from the Cowboys, trying to get downhill with Zeke a little bit. That's probably about all he can do at this point. I don't really think you can run the edge with Zeke, so you got to just smash it inside and hope for the best. Looks like we swapped out personnel, so we are in true two-back with Pollard and Zeke. Pollard in a little bit of a bunch there. What the fuck is this? Oh, okay. Interesting play design. I do think putting Pollard and Zeke on the field already has your radar dish up, right? And then putting him in a bunch, and then putting him not a what is it, rodeo motion? Is that what it's called? Not orbit. I think it's called rodeo, where it crosses in front and then loops behind. Your radar's going up again. So I don't know if I would have given him the ball in an end around, but because I think the defense is like, well, this is weird. Oh, pick! What the fuck? Yo. Dak, brother. Did Gallup just stop running? Was the ball late? I gotta see a replay on that. A replay that's like wider. Because on my first viewing, I couldn't tell if the ball was late or if Gallup stopped running or both. That was a weird pick, though. Huh. Okay, then. Well, 49er ball in the high red zone. Let's see if we can just wrap up this Kittle slip right now, huh? Ooh, Purdy couldn't get out of that one. Nice sack by D-Law. Best case scenario, you're holding him to 3 anyway. We can live with that. Yeah, why even throw that? I truly don't know. I got to look at the all-22 to see what was going on there, because that was a weird, even by Dak standards, that was a weird one, right? But he's led the league in picks like since like the middle of the season when he came back. So I guess maybe it's not that weird. It looked odd because like Gallup looked like he totally stopped running. So I can't tell if it was just miscommunication or just a late ball. I don't know. A little screen to McCaffrey there. Cowboys have been in nickel, I think, every single snap so far, regardless of personnel grouping. I think every play they've been in nickel. So 3rd and 15. Not a lot of calls on the call sheet for 3rd and 15. Let's see what they got. Oh, yeah, these guys are protecting for sure. Look at that. Double chips. There we go. Oh, and they still converted it. Were we playing off? Were we playing like 10 yards off Ayuk there and just giving him space? What's the plan here, Deron Bland? Oh, what a route. What a route. Did you see how he forced... He attacked aggressively outside towards the boundary because he was in a much narrower split. And so he forced him to man turn towards the boundary and then slipped inside off the back of his hip. That's a great route, not going to lie. That's a great route. Ayuk is so good. Oh, Fatty's here. Hi, Fatty. The other one has arrived. He just wants cuddles, that's all. Oh no, who's hurt now? Is it a cramp? Looks like he's holding his calf. Falcons winning the South next year. I mean, it's not like they were that far off this year, and they were kind of a disaster, so I could see it. I could see it. What do you want? Just lay down. You're getting hair all over me, bud. Here, say hi to the folks. Say hi to the folks. Oh, God, you're so fucking big. He's 20 pounds, guys. He's 20 pounds. What do you want me to say? He's on a diet. He's on grain-free food. He's on a diet. He's big. He's big bone. All right, 2nd and goal here. We're back in 11. Looks like we're back in 11. With Debo in the backfield. They call quarterback draw? With Purdy? Huh. It's not what I would have done, but all right. Kyle just testing things out, I see. Like, what was the plan there? All right, 3rd and goal. Still an 11 personnel. Well, depending on how you want to classify Juwan. And Purdy running for his life. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Oh, God. That was almost terrible. Field goal it is. Field goal it is. Remember when I said I took the under on Purdy, 1.5 touchdowns? This shit's why. Can you imagine if we get an Eagles-Cowboys NFC Championship game, how unbelievably toxic this next coming week is going to be between Bengals and KC fans and Cowboys and Eagles fans? I can't wait. It's going to be horrific. Twitter's going to be just a war zone. Well, at least they got the pick and they got points. Not a great start for the Niners, all things considered, other than that one play. It does feel like Cowboys kind of outmuscled them a little bit, other than that one pick. But we'll see. Still a lot of game to go. I miss Robbie Gould being on the Bears, but that was 36 years ago. I think his grandkids are going to play before the Bears before he even retires. What was the convo between you and EJ like when the Bears overtook the Texans for the first pick? Generally, it was, all right, Ryan Poles, you have been gifted the most incredible, golden goose in franchise history. Don't fuck it up, right? You have $100 million to spend in cap space. You have the first overall pick, and you already have a quarterback. You cannot fuck this up. I don't think you will. Always a tough call. Would you take the 3 points there? I would, because it's still early in the game, and you want to feel like you're getting something out of it, right? You want to always feel like you're getting something out of an extra possession, out of a turnover. So get what you can. It's still 3-0, and just think of this as like a reset on the game, right? We're starting out the game brand new. You've just been spotted 3 points. That's how I look at it. How do you feel about what D'Amico Ryans is doing today? Well, I mean, we've only seen like 4 plays for the Cowboys, but it seems like we've done mostly cover 3, presenting too high and then rolling down to cover 3. That seems to be the predominant coverage they've called so far. We'll see if they start getting into more of the quarters, quarter, half, and cover 2 stuff. Although cover 2 they typically save for the second half once they have a lead. If they don't have a lead today, maybe we won't see as much cover 2, which kind of throws a lot of other stuff off that I expected. But we'll see. We'll see. They were at the 9 too, right? That's a tough conversion. Yeah, it's not like it was from the goal line, right? So if it's one thing, if it's from like the 1 yard line, and even if you fail, they have to go 99 yards. Different conversation. Uh-oh. Oh, God, that was almost a huge return. Almost a huge return. Turpin almost broke that thing. So how are we looking on the slip? 31 for Kittle. CD's got 5. McCaffrey's got 7. So let's see if we can get Dak and CD going on here. Because those might be the hardest too, is Dak and CD. Well, Noah Brown does not help me at all. But you want backup? Dude, you just jumped down. All right, let me get you. No, don't walk away. I can't lift you up if you're walking away. All right, fine. Do your own thing. All right, 2nd and 7 here. And there's CD. Didn't get the first down, though. He stopped short. I don't think he realized where the marker was. I think he accidentally stopped short on that one. Oh, CD, come on now. Ow. He bit me. Bit me while purring. I think it was an affectionate bite, but still, ow. All right, 12 personnel. Oh, so they did give him the first down. All right, good to know. False start. If you wanted to rename your cat after a player, who would it be? Oh, man. Vita Vea. Vince Wilfork. Looks like him. Actually, looks like a little bit like Wilford Brimley, but it's all right. I'll go with Vita Vea. There's that extra tackle again. And we're running counter with it. That's fun. Nice run for Pollard there. Pollard, I think, is been far superior than Zeke this year. And I don't know what the future holds for Zeke on this team next year. I don't know what the cap situation looks like, but given the option between franchising Pollard and retaining Zeke, I'm franchising Pollard all the way. Ooh, that's a fun little way to run split zone. Getting Noah Brown in motion, and then kind of using that extra force from him already moving to deliver a lot of extra force on the SIF block. That's fun. Fridge the cat. Yeah, I could see that. Oh, man. He's just going to sit here while I pet him for the next 3 hours. He's not going to go anywhere. He's an attention whore. In the hospital, a picture of the game, no sound, unbelievable. Thanks to you, I can hear the game call me. Game call. That's great. Well, I hope that you are not the patient, and I hope that you're doing okay. But if you are the patient, feel better soon. Jared Cole for $2. Thank you, Jared. Name the cats Bo Melton and Stone Forsythe. Well, one of them's almost as big as Stone Forsythe, so that makes sense. Would Fatty be IDL 1 in this upcoming draft? Well, he'd get Jalen Carter a run for his money. In terms of who's got the best anchor, probably Fatty. Well, not a whole lot of action in this game so far, but still good football. It's just good defensive football, which I think is still entertaining. Definitely not as offensive oriented maybe as some people expected, but these are two good defenses, so maybe it's not that crazy. Almost back from commercial break here. Bills could have used your cat today. Bills could have used a lot of things today. That was one of the worst games they played all year, to be honest. On both sides of the ball, they were just not good today. But they were so banged up that I guess we should have seen it coming. Patrick Mahomes. Oh, that's good. That was a long commercial break, by the way. Fox is really milking the shit out of these commercial breaks. Zeke's dead cap hit is still 16.7? How? They extended him like 5 years ago. Don't meow at me. That was rude. Where are you? Oh, you're under me. How? How is his dead cap still 16.7? Like, that extension was so long ago. Unbelievable. That's like one of the worst contracts they've ever signed. Not that Zeke isn't a good player, but it's just they've been hamstrung so much cap-wise because of it. Especially now when your backup is better. I remember when I was at the Ohio State-Michigan game at the Big House, and oh my God, the Fox commercial breaks were unbelievable. They're the worst, I think, for those. I would agree with that. I think CBS does more breaks, but Fox's just feel long. It's like 2 minutes long, which when you're in the stadium is excruciating. Would you rather pay $15 million a year for Galladay or Zeke? Oh my God, I think I'd rather cut my dick off than pay $15 million to Galladay. Like that's a horrible contract. What are you meowing? I've been petting you the whole time. God, you're so selfish. Zeke got that first down, though. I'll give him credit. That was a nice extension. And he got out of the tackle in the backfield. That was a great run. It's the best 6-inch run you'll ever see. Look at that. Sidestep, power through tackles, extend out. That's how you get 1 yard. Why do you think Zeke has lost a step? I don't think he's looked right since he hurt his knee last year, to be honest. And he's had a lot of wear and tear. He's had a lot of wear and tear, and he finally sustained a major injury last year and played through it, and I just don't think he ever got over it. He's been running in quicksand this whole year. All right. Trips to the field. Pretty clear cover 3 look. This looks like 3 seam all the way. And good. Feed CD. Get me those yards 4 at a time. I'll take it. Whatever I can get. Now, 3rd and 7 against this defense is tricky. I would imagine they're going to be running cover 2 here because they can. Because they have Fred. Although against trips, do you dare? No, it's actually empty. Holy shit. So quarters? Yeah, looks like it. Fred sagged a little bit too deep there, though. And he knows it. He's upset. He thought CD was going to go vertical, and so he was playing it over the top, and then he just sat down underneath. Yeah, Fred's pissed at himself for that one. And it's on him. He knows better. Can't park yourself past the sticks on 3rd and 7 like that. Ooh, I don't know if they're going to sneak this. There's the end around. And he got it. Zeke runs like he's carrying Fatty on his back. Oh, man. Is it me, or have we seen like a record-breaking number of sweeps and short yardage in the last month, right? It seems like we see more of those than sneaks. So CD's at, what is CD at? 23? Okay. Oh, Dak. Dak got the edge. My cat just keeps yelling at me over and over again. What do you want? Go ask your mom for food. He thinks it's dinner time because he hasn't had lunch, but we're switching him to 2 meals a day, so he's mad about it. Stop meowing at me. Incorrigible. All right, low red zone. Looks like quarters here, but they're playing it really tight. And they snuck Schultz out. He did the fake spike. All right, let's see if Brett Maher gets this extra point. The camera's locked on him already. Oh, that's cold-blooded. Everybody's just waiting for it. All right, let's see what he's got. Come on, Brett. Don't disappoint your fellow Bretts. We're rooting for you, bud. And you're a 2T, Brett. You're one of the good ones. Does he hit it? Did they block it? No. No fucking way. They fucking blocked it. Oh my god, I'm crying. Oh, poor Brett Maher. I feel so bad. I mean, I don't, but I do. Oh my god. That's hilarious. That's the funniest shit I've seen all week. Dak's already screaming, go for two. I don't think they're going to kick ever again. Oh, man. Oh, I was legit crying. That's so funny. All right, so it's 6-3. We got a baseball score going. Jerry Jones coming for Maher. I hope they had a camera on Jerry during that. I hope we see that coming off the break. We got to see Jerry Jones' face. Brett, why is your stream so behind? Because the only way that I can legally get a stream onto my second monitor to put the scoreboard up, scoreboard up. I've been drinking whiskey all day. Bear with me. Is to use the international Game Pass and use a VPN and pretend to be German. So as far as Game Pass is concerned, I'm in Dusseldorf, and so that's how I can stream and put the scoreboard up. Scoreboard. Jesus Christ, Brett. Speak English. And so it's a little bit behind because I'm going through Germany, through International Game Pass, and some of you are probably watching it over there, so you're getting it instantly, and I am not getting it instantly. What whiskey? I am drinking, excuse me real quick. I am drinking 13 Monkeys, which is a wonderful local micro distillery in the Western New York area. I got this when I was in Buffalo for Bills Packers in week 8. Oh, they're showing a replay. Got this in week 8 when I was out there for Bills Packers. Got it from a great member of the Bills Mafia themselves. Comes with dog tags and everything. And this benefits, this whiskey, the proceeds benefit families of KIA in Afghanistan. And it's a really good whiskey. Very peanutty, which most whiskeys that I've had are not, but this one is. A sippy cup mason jar. Well, no, so there's a normal mason jar top, but they also gave me the little spout one so I could pour it. Because pouring out of a mason jar is kind of annoying, right? So they got the little spout top. Got cat hair on my face. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. How is it everywhere? Purdy running for his life. He gave him a little scissor kick. Oh my God. So Jake Moody to the Cowboys. Yeah, probably at this point. What's fascinating is Maher was good in the regular season. Like, he wasn't even bad in the regular season. He's just had a nightmare playoff so far. Oh, Kittle was calling for the ball. Rough. So we're still in 21. And it looks like the Cowboys are still in nickel. And the Niners still can't run the ball on it. And I think Hankins has just gotten bigger every year since he got in the league. He's been in like 10 years. And he was always been big, but he looks like 350. Are we just adding 4 pounds every year? It's a big boy. All right, now we're in 11, and we're still in nickel. But they run in Tampa, too, with Micah running the pole up the middle. How about that? Get yourself a franchise edge rusher that can also play Mike in a Tampa, too. Not an easy thing to find. Autumn, what's up, Autumn? Back to KC we go. Who day? Who day indeed. Oh, I wish they kept the replay going there to show Micah. It's all right. Split back formation, and we're running. Is that inside zone? I couldn't quite tell. Just a lot of bodies. A lot of bodies. Vander Esch has had a nice year, though. I'll give him that. All right, 2nd and 8. Let me see if I can pull up coverage data for this. Or for 3rd and 8. Still in 11. Cowboys still in nickel. But it's a different nickel. The 2 linebackers are Vander Esch and Micah. Oh, no, they dropped 54 down the line of scrimmage. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, no, Sam Williams is 54. Who was I thinking of? I was thinking of Barr. He's 42. He's not 54. I was like, oh, they have all the linebackers on the field. But no, Sam Williams is that. So when Sam Williams is on the field, they're putting Micah off ball with Vander Esch. Still nickel, but a different nickel package than when Micah's on the line of scrimmage. That's interesting. So, yeah, we're still in nickel here. But now Micah's rushing in a fire zone from an off-ball spot. He's not on the line of scrimmage. Interesting little personnel mismatches here. Now, what's the flag for? Tackle out of bounds? Calling unnecessary roughness? Yeah, seems like it. I get it, but it's still kind of a soft call. All right, 1st and 10 again. Niners in 21. And we are back to the nickel where Micah's on the line of scrimmage. And they still can't run on it. I still have not seen a single snap of base from the Cowboys defense. Not one. All right, now we are in, 2nd and really long? 1st and 20. I would have to imagine this is going to be a cover 2 because the Cowboys already run a fuckload of cover 2. And at 1st and 20, I can't see why they wouldn't. It might have been quarters. I couldn't tell where the safeties were at. That might have been quarters instead of cover 2. Either way, they got nothing out of it. So 2nd and 20. There's almost nothing in the playbook for 2nd and 20. Let me pull up what coverage they typically play here. So Cowboys are 59% second, 59% cover 2 on 2nd and 11 plus, if you can believe it. So expect those safeties to drop out. And we got a timeout. Now would be a good time to insert ads. Why is YouTube telling me to insert ads? No, ads are lame. I'm not inserting ads. It's kind of weird to like as a streamer to like put a prompt up. It's like, now's the time to put in ads. Why? Why is now a good time to put in ads? Fuck you. I'm not putting in ads. I don't need to. So pulling up coverage data, let me see if I can do sort it by field position. So in between the 20s, 2nd and 11 plus, still 54.5% cover 2, 22.7% cover 3, almost no quarters or quarter half to speak of, 9% cover 1. So this is going to be most likely cover 2, maybe cover 3, but most likely cover 2. It's probably a differentiation in terms of receiver distribution. If it's 2x2, it's probably cover 2. If it's 3x1, they'll probably just run cover 3. So I'm very curious to see what the play call is coming out of that. Got almost 1,200 people in there. People love to watch the Cowboys in the playoffs, don't they? For better or for worse, people love to watch the Cowboys in the playoffs. And you guys wonder why every TV show talks about them so goddamn much. Look at how many people are here. It's your own fault. You made the Skip Bayless monster. Fabian for 420. Thank you, Fabian. Thanks for not running ads. You're cool. You're cool, Fabian. You're cool. But no, you're welcome. I just don't feel... I'm not going to run ads unless I absolutely have to. And I don't have to, so I'm not going to. They probably don't even pay that well anyway. Like, from what I recall, ads on Twitch like pay you nothing unless you have one of those like custom Twitch contracts, right? Where they pay you $1 gazillion. Cowboys are the original Velma. I've heard that show is like just... Is there even a word to describe how bad it is? Like, it's literally the lowest rated show in IMDb history. I've heard it's horrendous. There we go. All right, now it becomes interesting because now we're like back to 3rd and 3. I didn't see what coverage they were running. Was it cover 2? Oh, of course they're not going to show the good replay. Fuck. Can we see an angle that matters? Can we see where the safeties were? Can we see more than one route? God, so frustrating. Live all 22 cannot come fast enough. All right, so we're looking at... I couldn't even tell what coverage that was. Camera's too tight. 4th and 2. You could theoretically go for it from here. Theoretically. I don't know if they will. I guess not. They want a field goal. It's designed to be so bad people hate watch it. Yeah, well, they did a good job apparently. Unless you're a partner on Twitch and contracted, the ads make nothing. Yeah, that's what I thought. Twitch's monetization system is really good if you're in like the top 1% of streamers. And my other friends that are streamers on Twitch that are not in the top 1% feel like they make nothing. And that's something that's always hung in the back of my mind about if I want to do Twitch. Because I feel like I would never get to the top 1% that would make it good for me, you know? Now, it'd be one thing if Amazon would let me actually show the game on Thursday night streams. Then I would go stream on Twitch for the TNF streams. Because that's like beneficial. But if I can't even show the game, then I'd rather just do it here. Also, wow, my eye is really red. I think I rubbed it too much. Because of you. You dick. He's looking at me. He knows what he did. It's rage bait for conservatives. I've heard it was rage bait for liberals. I think it's just rage bait for everybody. I think everybody equally hates it. The one thing that Republicans and Democrats can agree on is they hate that fucking show. Oh. Mindy Kaling, bringing America together again. Didn't Tim the Tapman get to show an NFL game a few years ago? If it was on Amazon, probably. But what I'm hoping is with the NFL getting Sunday Ticket next year and games being on YouTube, I want to be able to do this while being able to show the game on this channel and try to be kind of a middle ground between new media and old media, because on YouTube I feel like I don't have a large following, relatively speaking. Within the football universe, I feel like I have a pretty good sized following, so I think there's motivation there for YouTube to promote Sunday Ticket being on YouTube by having me maybe do my own broadcast. And I think the NFL itself has been phenomenal at working with content creators over the last year. Like they are really doing the best they can to lean into working with creators like me, Destroying. Like they're awesome, and they want to keep doing that. So I think they would be motivated to do it. I just want to know, what rights issues I have to navigate in terms of broadcast rights in order to make that happen. But hopefully I do. So we'll see. All right, 6-6 here. Just like everybody predicted. I wish I could listen to the audio of this broadcast, though, without getting flagged, because I do genuinely enjoy Greg Olson as a commentator. I think he's good. But if I play the audio, I get demonetized, or not demonetized, I get flagged, so I'm not going to do that. Ooh, another potential late hit there. There it is. There's the flag. Some brutal penalties on the Niners early. Love this stream. Lions are coming off the biggest win of my 27-year life. You and EJ were high on my team this year. What's the new ceiling for them? The new ceiling for them is NFC Championship game. They were one of the hottest teams in the entire league in the back half of the year. And, you add in another draft into their offseason. Ben Johnson is staying. They're the best team in the North to me. And I think that they're a couple playoff games, which I think they're going to make the playoffs. They're a couple playoff games from making the NFC Championship game, assuming they win the division, right? So I think that's their ceiling. Again, I'm not entirely sure about Super Bowl yet because the Eagles exist and the Niners exist and the Cowboys exist. But I think that if everything goes right and everything breaks their way, they can go to the conference championship game. I would not be surprised by that one bit. Just like I wasn't surprised by them making a late run and almost making the playoffs. Like if you look at early season Lions, like there's a lot of games that they should not have lost that they lost. And if they just, you know, didn't screw around in the first half of the year, they would have made it. All right, 2nd and 7 here for the Cowboys. Fast approaching the red zone, but we are in shot territory. And we got a Pollard drop. All right, 3rd and 7 from that area of the field. What are we looking at for the Niners here? So, looks like Niners love to play a lot of middle field close coverages here on 3rd and 7. So either cover 1 or cover 3 is what we're looking for. So there might be a one-on-one opportunity down the sideline if Dak likes it. But he's got Noah Brown on one side, Gallup on the other, CD's in the slot. We do get a man coverage look here. Does Dak want the slot fade? No, they called timeout. Yeah. If they get that same look, I think they're going slot fade to CD. All right. This whiskey is done. Where's my second? Because I had another. Here we go. Fresh glass. I have a themed whiskey for the second game, too. This is Balcones Lineage, which is a wonderful single malt from native Texas distiller Balcones, one of my favorite whiskeys. And it is remarkable. This shit is worth every dollar that you spend on it. It's like $70, but it is just delectable. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Oh, and it smells so good. All right, so they called a flare screen. I think they hit that off motion. And now, are we going to do Brett Maher? No? No Brett Maher? We're going for it on 4th and 4. Wow, they do not believe in him at all. Okay. What's our plan? Kind of looks like cover 3. Might be cover 1. So Dak gave the hard count and they backed off and showed cover 3. Looked like it was going to be cover 1. Then they backed off. Dak just changed the call. What do we got here? Nothing. Okay. 2-minute warning it is. 2-minute warning it is. We have been waiting 5 minutes for one play to happen. Kel for $5. I know I'm late to the stream. Just got home from the Bills game. What a beating we took on my birthday. Oh, that's a rough birthday. I'm sorry, dude. This staff needs to look in the mirror real hard. I agree, but also they were very hurt, and I said this during the first game. No Vaughn, 80% of the secondary's out. Like they were significantly banged up. So you have to consider that too. And Daquan Jones being out was massive. So, yes, coaches do have to look in the mirror real hard, but also they were hurt, and it's tough to win when you're missing like 70% of your defense. Please, Coleman, do not curse my Niners. They survived the curse when I did the Bosa episode, right? I think they'll be all right. They haven't lost in like 2.5 months. The Bills' play calling on offense was baffling. Yeah, it wasn't Ken Dorsey's finest moment, that's for sure. I would agree with that. I think the weather played a part too. You could kind of see it. Some receivers had trouble keeping the ball in their hands, which on a wet snow, sometimes the gloves can get slick and they can be the opposite of helpful. They can actually be slippery instead of sticky. So I think that played a little bit of a factor, but you saw receivers on both sides, struggle to hold on to the ball sometimes. So I understand that. Difference between quarter, half, and half, quarter. Quarter, half is the quarters side is on the passing strength, which is where more receivers are. And the half field safety is to the weak side. Half quarter is the half field safety is on the passing strength, and the quarter side is on the weak side. That's the difference generally. Fourth and 4, finally. After one of these long-ass Fox commercial breaks. So, typically speaking, in this area of the field, it's a lot of either cover one, or if it's 4 yards, it'll be cover one. If it's 6 yards, in terms of like fourth and medium, it'll be cover two. It looks like it was cover one here, and Dak just took off. How about that? I think they brought 5 with man on the back end, so I think it was a man pressure. Yep, man pressure, and Dak punished him. And now we got Pollard. We're rolling. We're high red zone now, boys. Uh-oh, Pollard's hurt too. Shit, that's not good. That's really not good. Did he get turned on his ankle? Yo, that's bad. Oh, that's a bad one for Tony. Oh, God, he might have broke that. Oh, shit. That might be broken, dude. That turned all the way around. That might be an air cast situation. Because that looked horrific. Oh, no. Ah, poor Tony. He was having such an amazing year, too. And he's about to be a free agent. You know? That's rough. That's really rough. I hope it's not serious. I do want to note, in this area of the field, in the high red zone, Niners are predominantly a quarters coverage defense. So if Dak wants to take a shot, it'll have to be on, it won't even be a shot in high red zone. It would have to be on something like, say, dagger, where we can run off the safety into the end zone, and then, a corner, if we can get inside of him on that dagger, depending on the technique. If he's pressed, it's a little bit tough. You have to win inside and kind of lean into him and then break inside. And it's a little bit tougher to hit. If he's sagging off, you can kind of speed cut it and bend it in real quick. But I think dagger's a good call here. Let's see what else. High red zone quarter. You don't really have space to hit a big post, so the typical pin and post isn't really in play. I would say like a scissors concept. If you want to put CD in the slot and then do a late switch and you throw the 7, that's something you could do. Oh, they're helping Tony off. That doesn't look good. Hate that for him. AJ Dombrowski for $4. Thank you very much, AJ. Appreciate you. All right. We're in empty. High red zone. That's interesting. We are in quarters, as we thought. Actually, no, they're in cover 2. Oh, Dak. Oh. And that wasn't even like that. That wasn't even like tipped at the line. He fucking threw it into the hang defender. The hook was sitting right there. So right before the snap, you saw the safeties go from kind of being in a quarters posture to expanding, right? Which it makes sense. It's against empty. More likely to play cover 2 against empty than quarters. So you saw the safeties kind of expand, right? And so his idea of attacking cover 2 was, let's work a little kind of like sit and pivot against Warner over the middle. The problem is, if there's nothing holding the hook a little bit further outside, the hook is going to break on that. And that's exactly what we saw there. So, shit. Bad read. Bad read. I'd love to see a replay to confirm that, but that's my guess. Is there was nothing, there was no like stick routes or anything holding the hook in place. So the hook was like, let me just go look for work, and he broke on it. Yikes. So let me get a diagram ready just in case they show us a replay, right? Oh, man. Typical Fox commercial break length. So I know it was trips left, right? So pretty sure it was CD here, right? And then I think it was Z, zebra, and then I think it was Y, F, right? That looks vaguely familiar. So then we're looking at, I think it's 3, edge, Mike, nickel, corner, strong safety, free safety, will, corner, right? All right, so here's the replay. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. So it was actually so just pretend this is Dalton Schultz. Fuck it. So when he went out to the flat, right? So number 2 went to the flat immediately. This nickel knows corner's trapping it. So if you got him working a sit and pivot back out, if he knows this corner is trapping and there's nothing coming inside for him, he's going to go look for work immediately, right? And he's just going to be reading eyes. Because, again, these guys are not that far away from each other. So as soon as he's released from his responsibility, as long as number 1's vert, he can just go work on number 3. And Warner knows that he has help out there, so he can kind of just play it super far inside and not have to worry about it. And Dak just threw it right to him. Like, it's cover 2 101, man. Like, if 1's vert and 2's outside, this dude's freelancing. You got to be aware of that. There's nothing holding him there. There's nothing holding him there. Got to know that. Like, it's a rookie pick right there. Oy. See that? Remember what I was talking about? Dak is the streakiness, where he can have the best game ever one week and then look really bad the next. Case in point. Because he was terrible against the Commanders, incredible last week, terrible this week. I can't predict it. I can't predict it. I never know what's coming. Tony's got the Aircast on. That's a bad one. That sucks. All right, 3rd and 1 here for the Niners at the end of the half. You got to go. You got one timeout. You got to go. Brett, you can turn off desktop audio on OBS so the game sound doesn't go to the stream. Yeah, I did. My desktop audio is all the way down. And it's muted too. So I don't think you guys should be able to hear the game, right? You shouldn't be able to. Let's see, what are you calling here from the 40 first and 10, no timeouts, outbreakers? Got to get to the sideline. Unless they are way overplaying the sideline, at which point with 24 seconds, you do have time if you want to hit like a bang aid or something to Kittle up the middle and then have him go down at 10, at least before 10, so that you have time to run everybody up there and spike it, right? So you could still get in a field goal range here over the middle, but you got to haul ass. So if nothing's there on the sideline, you work the middle. Oh, Mike almost got there. All right, you still have time to do that same thing again. You got 19 seconds. You can do this in 9 seconds. So what I would do is wide splits, get them to overcommit to the boundary, and then either get Kittle or Ayuk or whoever up the middle of the field. Oh my God, that hump move. Oh. That's abuse. That's assault in like 14 states. Oh my God. All right, and it got out of bounds. You're in field goal range. Jesus Christ, Micah. He picked up another grown man and threw him. Oh, but you can still listen to... Oh, that's smart. So I turned down the depth so you guys don't hear it, but I can hear it in the background. That's fucking smart.
That was 27
so
yards.
I just turned it up for me. Can you guys hear that? I don't think you can. Oh my God, why have I been doing it the wrong way the whole time? Where have you been? Oh my God, I was doing this in silence for 2 goddamn days.
Someone pops open, maybe you get lucky and you take a shot, but right now Purdy's just holding the ball.
Oh, you do hear it?
Bring on Robbie Gold and just ensure that that field goal is
let's turn that down. Shit. I'm going to get sued. Oh no. The NFL police are going to come after me. Oh, God. This is the last time I trust you people. It's all right. It's all right. All we heard was a little bit of Greg Olsen. That's all. That's all. Did he get that out of bounds in time? Looks like he did. All right. Robbie Gold, the ageless wonder. And another timeout. This is the slowest first half ever. Hope you're saving that super chat money. Oh, man. We've had a good day super chat wise. I appreciate you guys keeping the channel running. And some of you were even here. So we did this every Thursday night, not on this channel. We did it over on the podcast channel. A lot of you guys might not be aware. I have a podcast, and it's called the Bootleg Football Podcast. It's on its own separate YouTube channel. And so we did this every Thursday night for all the Amazon games. Some of those games were horrible, but we got through it as a team, me and EJ. So if you guys want even more content every single week, go to the Bootleg Football Podcast. Bootleg spelled like bootleg, obviously. And, we put out more stuff there than I do on Film Room just because obviously podcasts are hour and a half long and we're doing 1 or 2 a week. So if you like hearing my incoherent ramblings about schematic matchups, go over there. We're doing a divisional round recap and conference championship preview this week. And then we got a whole bunch of draft content coming because we're going to the Shrine Bowl on Friday. And we're going to be there for about 9 days. So we're doing our Super Bowl preview from Vegas, draft content from Vegas, prospect interviews. Keep in mind, Brock Purdy was at the Shrine Bowl last year when EJ and I were there. And so was Skylar Thompson. So there's two, playoff starting quarterbacks that were at that game last year. We'll see who's there this year. But if you want more shit, Bootleg Football Podcast. That's where you go. All right, going into halftime here. Let's get to some super chats. OBS over audio properties. OBS audio properties, advanced settings, desktop audio, monitor off. And we can't hear it, but you can. Okay, so I got to switch off the monitor. All right. Because I have the audio output capture desktop, and I have that down to 0, so I thought that would do it, but apparently not. Because OBS just has to make things difficult. Can't do things easy. Tobias Christensen for 17. Thank you, Tobias. This is so much better than Danish commentary. I appreciate that. I've never listened to Danish commentary myself. I'm sure they're good, though. I'm sure they're good. But I appreciate that. Thank you. Treyo for $2. Are Gino and Dak the same person? I've never seen them in the same room before. You never know. You never know. I do like Gino. He's awesome. He had a great year. Andrew Justo for 5. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you for making a bad night better. Up working stupid late in England, if that gives you an idea. Wait, oh, God, so you're up late in England. It's like 4 a.m. there, bud. Go to bed. Good Lord. You should not be awake. But thank you for being here. I appreciate that. Matthew for $4.99. Love the channel. Some stuff is over my head, though. Any channels you recommend to learn the basics? I don't know how you define basics, but in terms of other channels that are good for learning the game, JT O'Sullivan runs the QB school, and he does a phenomenal job on his channel. He is the one who everybody strives to be like, right? He's the best of us. Alex Rollins is great, especially if you're a Niners fan. You want a lot of Niners content. Alex Rollins does that. Samuel Gold covers every team, but he does great Seahawks content as well if you're a Seahawks fan, because he writes for Field Goals. Who else is there? Thinking Football is phenomenal. Thinking Football is a great channel. The Football Scout is good. Billy Stevens, which is funny because Billy Stevens is like 10 years younger than me, but everybody always says they get me and Billy confused with each other because we talk the same. And I could see that. But Billy Stevens is good. There's like a lot of different X's and O's channels on YouTube. I am not the only one. And I'm not even the best one. Like, I just happen to have a nice camera. So that's how I look at it. If you can't be the best in football knowledge, at least be the best in production value. Actually, that's not even true. JT's production value is still better than me. Do you watch Cover One? Cover One's phenomenal, especially for Bills coverage. I'm friends with all those guys. Greg, Eric, Aaron, all them. The Cover One's awesome. Let's see if I missed any. Oh, Matt Waldman's awesome. Lombardi's awesome. Especially for D-line stuff. Lombardi's always great for that. And then Waldman is like a running back savant, in my opinion. Kurt Warner, that's right. Kurt Warner does YouTube. And he's Kurt Warner. He's amazing. I used to work with Kurt at NFL Network, and he was always just kind, courteous. It didn't matter if you're the lowest guy on the totem pole or the highest. He would always give you the time of day. Great person. Great dude. Very smart quarterback, obviously. AJ for $2. Thank you, AJ. Appreciate you and supporting us. Barry McCockiner. He's like memes, right? He does like football memes, I think. And genuinely hates Tom Brady more than anyone else on the face of the earth. Like, I'm pretty sure his Tom Brady hate is actual, like, real Tom Brady hate. Is that EJ Snyder guy really all that great? I mean, I obviously bootleg, but I just talked about bootleg in terms of things that I am not involved in. EJ is a better draft analyst than me though, because he watches everybody. I have no idea how he finds the time to grind like 300 prospects a year. But I mean, you talk about anybody on day 3 and he knows them. He's crazy at the draft. Hey, when is the best time to be a patron? Like, what is the lowest revenue a month? I think I have I still have a $1 tier, right? I'm pretty sure I still have the $1 tier, and then the $5 tier is what gets you access to the patron only Discord, right? But I'm pretty sure there's still a $1 tier, if I recall correctly. Hockey's, you can tell me if I'm wrong. I haven't updated it in a while. I really should. I got to get better at Patreon. I really do. I have so many things slated that I want to get better at in the off season, because I feel like I'm a good content creator, but a bad business person. And so I need to get a lot better with Patreon, with keeping up with messages and brand partnerships, and staying on schedule better, being better with my finances and travel. Like there's a lot of the business stuff that I always put on the back burner so that I can make content. And I need to get better at also doing the business stuff while making content so that I don't completely collapse under the weight of my own toxic ineptitude, is the way I like to put it. So I can make good videos, bad at running a business. And that's what I want to do this summer, is get my business in order. I wouldn't say bad at running a business. I haven't found time to do the business stuff. Like, I know how to do the business stuff, just haven't had time to do the business stuff. So that's what I want to do this offseason, is get better at that. It's one of those things where it's like, if somebody said, Brett, can you go make money right now? It's like, yeah, I can go make money. I can go do the content, and that'll make money. But in terms of like maximizing the value of that business-wise, like I gotta be not shit at that. Juke for $5. One of the first vids I watched of you was Minka Fitzpatrick. Interested to hear about what you think of Branch if you've watched him. I have not watched. I assume you're talking about Branch from Alabama. I have not watched him yet, but I look forward to, because if he's anything like those classic kind of like hybrid nickel safeties that Bama produces, I'm probably going to like him a lot. So I'm looking forward to that. What about That's Good Sport? Yeah, Brandon Perna is a good friend of mine. Perna is awesome, especially if you're a Broncos fan, and you can both wallow in your despair together as Broncos fans. Tom Grassi's great. Absinthe shots for every time the broadcast shows Jerry Jones in his suite. You just want to die, don't you? Hire out for business administration. Yes, well, yes and no. I would need to have the capital to pay properly for that, because I don't want to. I have an aversion to like underpaying people for valuable skill sets, right? Because like I was underpaid in my life at one point severely, and so I never want to do that to somebody. So if I'm going to do business administration, I want to pay somebody like a good salary, but I don't personally have the money myself in liquid cash to pay after I pay my own taxes and I do my retirement and I'm paying my overhead, and like a lot of the money that I've made this year is not even in liquid cash. It's in like equity deals and stuff, right? And so like I can't just like pay somebody in cash that doesn't exist. So at the moment I'm just gonna do it myself, because I feel like if I'm gonna hire somebody out for it, I don't want to just vastly underpay, and I don't have the actual liquid cash to not underpay, if that makes sense, right? Like I don't want to just like hire some college kid out of college and pay him like dirt cheap because who does that help, right? If I'm going to hire somebody, I'm going to pay them a good salary, but I don't have the money yet to pay them a good salary. It's one of those things where it's like the business itself this year, between all my income streams, I have like 12 different income streams, right? The business itself has probably made $700,000, right? But most of that is not in cash. Most of that is in non-liquid assets it's like I call myself a bad businessman, and that makes it sound like I'm a good businessman. And I think there's administration things I'm bad at, but I know how to negotiate a deal, right? And so like the business itself overall in terms of total assets has made about 700 this year, but I don't have enough liquid assets out of that 700 to pay for somebody to like run all the shit, So it's kind of I'm between a rock and a hard place on it. So one of my goals is to get more efficient so that I can make more content, so that I can make more cash, so that I can pay somebody to run the business. But we'll get there when we get there. One thing at a time. Until then, whatever. I'll just not sleep. It's fine. AJ for $2. Johnny Dell's Football Academy for 49ers content. I agree. Johnny Dell's is also great at what he does. There's a lot of great YouTubers for football. A lot of them. I respect that, Brett. Do what you can afford, but not exploit people and trying to work on other things. Yeah, I know what it's like to be vastly underpaid, and I just don't want to do that to somebody else. Because then I just become part of the problem. So I would rather be bad at what I'm doing now than be a bad person. If that makes sense. I don't know if I'm articulating this correctly. All right, start of the third quarter here. 9-6 barn burner over in San Francisco. I have two cats that are ready to fight behind me. Hey. They're just doing a little stare down. It's all right. They're brothers. They'll get over it. So waiting for kickoff here. Should be in about 2 minutes. How many people we got in the stream right now? Oh, 1,200. Still hitting 1,200. How about that? Cowboys games, man. Easy ratings. Unfortunately, we lost Tony Pollard in the first half. He's not coming back. Dak threw a couple really bad interceptions, but they're still only down by 3. So all things considered, I still think other than 2 plays, the Cowboys outplayed the 49ers. Just the 49ers got 2 turnovers and kind of evened things up. But the other 21 Cowboys on the field outplayed the other 21 49ers on the field. So if Dak can just stop turning the ball over, Cowboys are probably winning this game. But, if my aunt had a beard, she'd be my uncle. What's your take on Shannon Sharp with the Grizzlies? My take on Shannon Sharp with the Grizzlies scrap is that Shannon is fucking yoked, and I don't think Steven Adams wants that, because Shannon used to hit people for a living, and he's still yoked. And he's got that old man strength, so he's got 3 advantages. I know Steven's got reach. Once Shannon gets inside your body, man, you're done. And to get beat up by a man in a cardigan, you can't come back from that. Better just avoid the situation entirely. Why are you... He's still yelling at me. You'll get dinner after the game, I promise. You had a big breakfast. You're fine. He just wails at me for food, and then I give him food, and then he doesn't eat it. just likes to cause problems. All right. Start of the third quarter here. See if Zeke can kind of have a vintage second half here. They're going to need it from him. So traditionally, second half is when we start to see the Niners really dial up cover two, but this game is so close, I don't know if we're going to see that as much. So it looks like we're in cover three again here. Three seam, so the post is leaning away from CD. Ooh, God, Dak took a hit on that one. Third and 1. See, this is the kind of run I'm good with Zeke. Just give him the ball at 225 and say, go forward, right? Oh, but we are in shotgun. A little bit tougher. I guess we're throwing it. Oh, beautiful call there. Does he get the 3-on-3 outside and throw the bubble screen? Beautiful call. Actually, that wasn't even 3-on-3. That was 3-on-2. Where was the nickel? Now we got a little boot left. Dak dying as he throws it. Let's kind of avoid that. Oh, no. Who's hurt? Is that Talanoa? Oh, no. He's up. He's up. He was grabbing his knee. I was worried about that for a second. Talanoa scared the shit out of me there. He was grabbing his knee when he first hit the ground. So Pollard's out with a high ankle sprain? I thought it was worse than that. It looked like he broke it. So if it's just a high ankle sprain, that's actually great. Because I was really worried if it was broken, it would have affected how much he was going to get free agency. And I want that dude to get paid. So that's best case scenario right now. Ooh, speed option on 2nd and 8. Okay. So 3rd and medium here. We're pulling up 3rd and medium. So again, cover 1 about 43% of the time. We'll see if the Niners stick to that. Kind of looks like it. Looks like man coverage, single high. Now CD's number 3, so I don't think they're running a fade here with him, but they might be able to win on the slant. There's a lot of space there. Oh no, they backed out the whole defender. Okay, not the ball I would have thrown there. Not generally a fan of throwing in front of the sticks on 3rd down against man coverage, right? Maybe against zone, but not against man. Like, you're not going to get anything out of it anyway. So complete or incomplete doesn't really matter there. If you get a very clearly defined middle field close, man coverage look, throw past the sticks because your yak is going to be heavily limited. Not a great decision from Dak there. Oh, fumble! I think Cowboys got it. I think they got it. Unless some magic is happening at the bottom of the pile. Yep, Cowboys got it. How about that? Ray. That's tough. That's tough. Good strip from Joseph, though. That was exactly what the Cowboys needed. Try to even up that turnover ratio, right? Because Dak gave it away twice. We got to get it back ourselves, steal a possession. That's what they needed. CD on another end around at a wing, huh? Oh God, Lenore. Lenore put him in a coffin. Yikes. Steven Adam weighs over 250. Yeah, Shannon's got to be thick, dude. He's so fucking yoked. He's probably about 250 as well, I'd bet. So another little flare screen. Or no, it was a bubble screen out of a 4 strong look to CD. We're probably getting close to our CD over. Let me see what he's at now. So CD at 42. Oh, we are not close. We still got 30 more yards to go. Another empty. They're going empty quite a bit here. And then motion into 4 strong. Work the stick route to Dalton Schultz. See, the fact that Dak has turned it over and we're still potentially in position here to take the lead, it's pretty big for the Cowboys and pretty great testament to how well their defense has played. Because this could have gotten out of hand. This very easily could have got out of hand. And there's Zeke. Took a forearm to the head from Lenore. We need another classic Dak Prescott moment. Oh, man. People who hate the Cowboys are hilarious. All right, 3rd and goal. Middle of the red zone. A little bit too condensed for my liking formation-wise. I kind of want to spread them out a little bit more, work the whole field, but... Oh, almost another pick. Yikes. All right, Brett Maher. Let's see what you got. Now, this is from, 25 yards out? So it's 7 yards closer than an extra point. So he should be okay here. And drilled it. There you go. A little confidence booster. Just what he needed. JJ for $5. Thank you, JJ. Tell Maher if he misses one more kick, he has to do a shot of absinthe as soon as he gets in the sideline. Yeah, that'll fix him right up. Oh, man. What do you think is going to happen to Trey Lance? I still think they're going to keep him. I don't think they're going to trade him. I think it's just going to be an open competition in training camp next year for starting quarterback between Purdy and Lance. You know, Jimmy's obviously gone, but I do think it will be a competition. Do you like 4-3 or 3-4 defense is better? It depends on. I mean, it depends on the type, really. But I think a lot of 3-4 defenses end up playing like 4-3 anyway, and vice versa. You know, just depends on the personnel. But in terms of the defenses that I tend to do that defenses these days that tend to do the best, I would say it's mostly the 3-4 archetypes, you know, with the 3 big bodies at 5 technique, nose, and then either 3 technique or another 5 technique, or if you're playing tight fronts, you know, and then you've got either 1 or 2 outside linebackers on the line of scrimmage. Some of them, they'll just play like a really big kind of, elephant, like the hybrid 270-pounder. Some of them will do a 5-2 structure, which is a 3-4, but in name only, it's really a 5-2 if you listen to like the Wade Phillips philosophy. Those defenses, to me, tend to do best. But to be perfectly honest, with how much nickel is played, it's all the same structure. We're just talking about difference in base package, right? But nickel's the predominant defense that people play, which is still 4 guys in the line of scrimmage, 2 linebackers behind it, 5 DBs. Whether your base is a 3-4 or 4-3, that's usually how your nickel plays out. So it's all kind of the same anyway, right? And if you want to learn more about that 4-2-5 nickel, which is the new base defense in pretty much all level of football, my buddy Cody Alexander wrote a book on it, The Complete Guide to the Hybrid 4-2-5. Read it. It's really good stuff. I'm going to hold that up for like a second so you guys can see it. Cody Alexander. But that is like the new most common defense in college, pro, high school, whatever. 4 guys in the line of scrimmage, 2 linebackers, 5 DBs. Whether your base front's 3-4 or 4-3, doesn't matter. Eventually you're going to end up in that anyway. There's Ray Ray. Oh, 1 man to beat. Can he get it? Nope. But he redeemed himself a little bit. You love to see that. Good job, Ray Ray. He's fast as shit, by the way. When I was at camp, they were doing and they were doing special teams drill, and they were going all out. Like, he is fucking fast. Oh, Jerry Rice in the house. Let's go. Jerry looks good for his age. He could still go out there and line up today. All right, so we got 21 personnel again. Dallas is still in nickel. Mike on the strong side edge. Ooh, they double teamed him, and he still backdoored the scoop and got in on the tackle. Got 5 yards out of it, but he still got there. And I think they're willing to live with that. They're willing to live with 5-yard runs as long as you're not, throwing the deep shot off boot. You can do that all day, and they'll be okay with it. CMC now has a long run of 5. Well, he has, how many carries? Probably not many. Yeah, he has 6 carries. So they haven't really run the ball a whole lot. D-Law. Look at him go. 10 years in the league and you wouldn't even know it. How do you feel about your slip currently? I'm feeling good about a 4 out of 5 here. But I need Kittle to get 17 yards. I need CD to get 25 yards. Dak to get 1 more touchdown. And then I just need Brock to not throw 2 touchdowns. And then I get 4 out of 5 and I win $900 again. And then that brings my total to like almost $2,000 for the night, I think. It's like 1,800, right? Oh, Purdy just got crunched. That didn't look good. Took a huge hit. So I don't think I'm going to hit the McCaffrey, but I still have a decent shot at 4 out of 5. Mac Wake for $5. Am I wrong for giving KC a much better shot to win than Buff had because both lines for KC are playing better now, Mahomes' injury aside? No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all for that. Today was yesterday was one of the best pass protecting performances I had seen from the Chiefs tackles the entire year, right? Especially considering their quarterback was hurt. So, if they can keep that energy going and their offensive line is dominating and their defensive line is playing well, hurt quarterback or not, they're going to be a lot tougher to beat than, say, the Bills, who could not stop the run no matter what. So, no, I think your logic is sound. I think you're right there. And then Emmett for $5. Thank you, Emmy. Happy live stream. Brett, who is a better fit for the Bears, Carter or Anderson? I would lean towards Carter. Eberflus has talked over and over again about how 3 technique is like a foundational position in his defense, and I would agree with that. If you don't have a 3 technique in that defense, there's a lot of things that you're just going to be straight up shit at. One of them is stopping the run. The other is rushing the passer. Not that you don't need good edge players, but in terms of 3-down impact, how important 3 technique is for them in that system. Whether they're in base or whether they're in nickel, like 3 tech is everything for them. So I would say Carter is more important for them because also 3 technique is harder to find. It's harder to find an elite 3 technique these days than almost anything else. There's not a whole lot of them in terms of guys that have 3-down versatility, right? You can find guys that can line up at 3 technique on passing downs, and you can find guys that can play the run at 3 technique on run downs. It's hard to find guys that do both. The Quinnen Williams, the Aaron Donald, DeForest Buckner, like those are really hard to find. So if you get one, keep it and never let it go. And that's Carter to me. Niners finally playing a real team. Don't let an Eagles fan hear you say that. They'll get real salty real quick if you call the Cowboys a real team. Now, I agree with you. I think the Cowboys are a real team, but I eagerly anticipate the toxicity of this coming week. Would you take the Bengals at plus 1.5? Yeah. Wait, would I? Talk to me in 2 days when we figure out what's going on with Pat's ankle. How about that? Opening line, though? Probably. But we still got to see what's going on with Pat's ankle. CD dislocated finger there? Is that what he's looking at? His pinky? Any chance Vikings draft a quarterback early? No. No way. All right. Another empty set. Nope. Motioning into a wing from 12 personnel. And we're taking a shot. Okay. And oh my God, he got it. And I think that got my over too. That's one way to hit an over. Oh, you love to see it. I guess you only need 9 fingers to catch. All right, 1 down, 3 to go. That was a great catch by CD. Oh, my goodness. Disgusting. You said your cats are brothers. Figurative or actual littermates? They are actual littermates, yes. And they are, how old are they? 11? I think, right? I think they're 11. Yeah, 11. No, 12. Wait, 2010, remember. I think they might have just turned 12. So they're old, they're old, little old men, crotchety little old men. That's for sure. All right, trips Nub to the field. Dak ripping it again. Oh, great throw. Oh, you got to catch that, Dalton. Hit your hands. Got to bring it in. I know it's a tough catch. Away from your body. Extended. I get it. Got to bring that in. Brett, what do you think of Karlaftis rookie year? Great speed to power move. Turns like a battleship. I think he's, not to say that he can't be a good pass rusher. He is a good pass rusher. I think he's a one-dimensional pass rusher. I would love to see him do yoga every day in the offseason to improve his hip flexibility. I think the speed to power part he's got down. I want to see him be able to flatten and finish around the corner quicker so that he can translate those pressures into sacks. Have a little guy myself who's turning 18 at some point this year. Stray rescue, so we're not entirely sure when that is. Man, 18. I could only be so lucky. That's awesome. 18. Whew. Another empty set from the Cowboys here. Ooh, are they putting CD in the backfield? No, they're not. More cover 3. Oh, they back out. And they got Fred Warner on CD, and he ran with it. Look at him go. So remember when I was telling you in the film room episode, the 3-up is 3 player. Sometimes you'll get a linebacker lined up on a receiver, and the only team who can get away with it is the Niners because they have Fred Warner. That's the fucking play I'm talking about. That's incredible. I don't think it was cover 3. I think it might have been Tampa, and he just was running it from the line of scrimmage instead of off ball. But that's what I'm talking about when you have a linebacker that can run with a number 1 receiver, man. That's it. You can do stuff that no other defense can do. Schematically speaking, you could do. It's just fuck. He's so good. He's so good. Like, what's D'Amico gonna do when he goes to another team and he doesn't have Fred? He's gonna have to throw out so much of his playbook that he can't do anymore. Testament to Fred Warner, or is CD overhyped? No, that's a testament to Fred Warner. He's a Hall of Fame talent linebacker to me. He is as good as De'Varo Bowman and Patrick Willis were to me. Not in terms of overall package. Better against the pass. Not quite the same as P. Willie against the run, but he's better against the pass. But overall package, he is that guy. 100% that guy. He took the mantle of best linebacker of his generation after Bobby Wagner and Kuechly. Well, Kuechly retired, but after Bobby Wagner started to slow down, Fred Warner took the mantle as best linebacker of his generation. And when all is said and done, I think he's going to Canton. I really do. He's that fucking good. And he's a one of one, you know. And I know there was so much hubbub about when he got paid. It was like $18 million, something like that, and everybody's like, "You don't pay linebackers $18 million." I get that. But you pay Fred Warner $18 million cuz Fred Warner is not a linebacker. Fred Warner is Fred Warner. So, you pay him. You want to apply that rule to everybody else? Fine. You pay Fred Warner. Brett, do you think Noah Gray could succeed as a TE1? He's talented, like physical talent. He's got the talent. We've never seen him have to do it, though. So in terms of like depending on him on a down in, down out basis, it's all theoretical. But he does have the talent to be a TE1. But as long as Travis is there, we're probably never going to have to see it. So, you know. He's a heck of a TE too. I'll tell you that. They're paying Roquan $20 million. Yeah, I get that. And Roquan is not Fred to me. Roquan's still amazing. Roquan is fantastic. But Roquan's not Fred. So, you know, is it a bad signing? Not necessarily. I don't think it's a bad contract. But I think that the Roquan contract makes the Fred contract look even better, is what I'm trying to say. Greenlaw isn't far off. Greenlaw is incredible as well. He's a Pro Bowl caliber linebacker himself. It's very similar to when Navarro and Patrick Willis were together at the same time, you know, and it was like unquestioned the best linebacker duo, arguably the best linebacker duo ever. And Fred and Greenlaw are, in terms of a total package, like you said, not that far off, man. Not that far off. Probably the best duo in the league. Actually, not even probably. They are the best duo in the league. Schoenberg 96 for $249. Thank you. What do you think the Saints get for Peyton? Probably a first-round pick. A late first-rounder. Maybe the highest pick they would get. Well, actually, no, because the Cardinals don't have a late first-rounder. So if the Cardinals want Peyton, they would have to give up multiple twos. If the Panthers want Peyton, they'd have to give up their one. If the Broncos want Peyton, they'd have to give up the Bradley Chubb pick. Who else is available? If the Colts want Peyton, actually the Colts probably won't go after Peyton because they need assets to trade up for a quarterback. So he's out. And if the Texans want Peyton, they're not giving up their top pick either. And they're probably not giving up 12. So maybe they do a pick swap with actually, no, they can't do a pick swap either. So that would probably be a multiple twos as well. 12 is a little rich for my blood. All right. Kind of an interesting little 4 strong, but they're motioning out. Oh, that's a really interesting way to run counter. Okay. I like that. You kind of start out 4 strong, and then you're running GH counter from that. Okay. I see you, Kyle. Actually, no, that wasn't GH counter. Kittle was the one there. So 80. So that'd be YH counter. Is that how you designate it? Any offensive coordinators in the chat? YH counter or HY counter? Or YY? No, you wouldn't count use check as an extra Y. There's the uncontested boot. Oh, Kittle. Yeah. There it is. All right, 2 down, 2 to go, boys. 2 down, 2 to go. What a catch. What a catch. Oh, my God, Kittle. That was amazing. That was an amazing catch. I cannot believe he brought that in. Oh, my God. All right. We're still in 21. Still in nickel. And here's CMC. Not getting me my rushing yards, but that's okay. I can live without it. Oh, my God. Look at that. Look at the concentration in the eyes and then avoiding the hit from the safety. Oh, George. Just amazing. Hey, Brett, great stream. Who do you think the Seahawks should take with the 5th overall pick? Well, they're not getting Will Anderson and they're not getting Jalen Carter. So trade down. Unless something weird happens. There's CMC rushing. Give me that. Unless something weird happens where quarterbacks push down one of either Anderson or Carter. Not quarter. If we get 3 quarterbacks in the top 4 picks, then you stay and you stick and pick. If Anderson and Carter both go in the top 4, you move out of it because somebody's going to want that extra quarterback, right? Somebody's going to want Levis or Richardson or whoever. And so you ransom that, you pick up extra assets, and you get insert player you like, right? Thank you for the $5, by the way. Yes, feed Christian. Feed him. Give me my rushing yards. He's at 34, so I'm halfway there. I need another 35. So 5 out of 5 is back on the table, folks. 5 out of 5 is back on the table. If I can get 35 rushing yards from Christian McCaffrey, I get 1 more touchdown from Dak, and as long as Purdy doesn't throw 2, 3,500 is on the table. Now we'll have a $4,400 day on the old Underdog Fantasy. $4,400. Papa's getting new bathroom floors. All right, Eli Mitchell running tough. Be gone, bot. There we go. Got him early. Chat, got him early. From Argentina. Great stream. Thank you. Thank you. Always wanted to go to Argentina. Buenos Aires looks like a cool place. Here's that same counter. Like that YH counter. It's a fun little run. I like that. Does Brett post underdog picks on Patreon? I need new bathroom tiles too. I could. If you guys want me to post the Patreon picks on underdog or the underdog picks on Patreon, I can, absolutely. I typically put them on Twitter. Because that way there's a link that you can click directly from Twitter to like, it just auto loads the slip and then you can tail it from there or fade it however you want. Oh, Trayvon, you can't drop that one. Coleman the German wants to go to Argentina. Yeah, just gonna visit some family. They've been there for a while. I don't have any family in Argentina. All right, 3rd and 9 here. Trips to the field. Let's see what you got, Brock. Oh, we got out of it. No, we didn't. D-Law just ate him alive. Yikes. Oh, you're not calling a flag, are you? On who? Flag on who? Oh, the hold. Okay, yeah, I could see that. That's a flag. Yeah, that's a penalty. New to your channel, but I appreciate the content I've seen, man. Cheers. Thank you, James. I appreciate that. Cheers to you, sir, as well. I think I see... Is that a Seahawks shirt I see in your profile picture? It's a very small picture. But if so, go Hawks. I love your stadium. Seattle... the stadium in Seattle is by far the easiest to get in and out of in the entire league. I love that stadium. I will go there every year for a game if I can. Oh, Debo. Go down, Debo. Make sure I didn't miss any super chats. I think I'm all caught up. I think I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you, everybody who's donated tonight, by the way. I really appreciate it. Over the course of 2 streams, chat's been good. We got over 1,300 people in here right now. Welcome, welcome. If you're new or returning, appreciate you being here. Doing the best we can to break down the game. Hopefully give you something a little bit different than what you're getting from the normal broadcast. They call the hold on Hankins there? Yeah, that's a hold. They don't call that often, but if you make it that easy and the offensive lineman's flailing like that, they will call it. Just not a lot. Niners seem to be moving. What was the adjustment? Not running as much zone and leaning into more of the gap stuff like counter and power from what I can tell. Just trying to crease him up the middle and just running right at him. Also, having Kittle make crazy catches probably helps too. I hope you bet the under. Yeah, it was at like, what, 46 and a half? So that's probably going to hit today. Cowboys don't have any more juice in the lemon. Hey, we just need one more Dak touchdown, and I'll accept it. They can lose all they want, but I want my new bathroom floor. Any chance the 49ers go for 2 if they score a touchdown? See, if it's 9-9, that would make it 17. I could see it. Because if you miss it, then you're at 15-9, and it's still a tight game anyway, and then you got 15 minutes left on the clock. Yeah, I could see going for 2 here. I don't know analytically what it would say, like the robots, but I understand the appeal of getting to 17 and kind of forcing them to put together 2 good drives, right? Unless they also go for 2, but it then kind of puts the pressure on them. So I could see the logic in that. John for $5. Thank you, John. What do you think of Patrick Queen's play since they got Roquan? I'll be honest, I haven't really paid attention to Queen much since the Roquan acquisition, but I was watching Queen before the Roquan acquisition, and it was not good. That's why they traded for Roquan. Is Queen has been a disappointment in my eyes. I have not paid attention to him since Roquan was brought over, so I would like to go back through the film and see if they kind of adjusted anything with his usage or role or snap count or packages or anything like that. But if I give an opinion on it, I at least want to do it from an educated standpoint, and I have not watched the film on him since the Roquan acquisition. So I can't give you an educated opinion. But I will watch that, and I will, at minimum, get back to you in the offseason about it. And, when we do our Ravens offseason preview over on the podcast channel, that will probably be one of the main things we talk about is Roquan and how he changed the defense and how everybody else plays around him. So, at minimum, we got that to look forward to. But thank you for the $5. I appreciate that. I'm sorry I couldn't give you an educated answer, but I also don't want to lie to you and blow smoke up your ass. But I will watch him shortly and try to get an answer for you. Brett, are you going to do analysis on this upcoming draft? Absolutely. I'm going out to the Shrine Bowl on Friday to start that process. Do prospect interviews, watch tape with them, ask the quarterbacks what they're seeing on certain plays, and kind of talk ball with all those guys. It should be fun. I'll be there for like a week with EJ. There's counter again, touchdown. They've been really making hay on counter here. It looked like is that GT counter? I think it was. Where you're pulling the tackle and the guard. Yeah, I think they pulled tackle and guard and then blocked down. Oh, man. Burford McGlinchey just cleared out the 3 technique. So GT counter, let me see if I can. This is going to be kind of a weird diagram, but all right, so let's just do Y here, and then let's do the F, right? Let's get rid of the X. So, and then we'll do nose. So GT counter is how you're typically going to want to try to run out of 3 technique, but getting an extra blocker compared to power, right? So to the end. And so you get down block here. Oh, forgot to do him. So down block here, and then you're working up to the mic. And then, or no, you're working to the will. That's what it was. Then you're working to the will. You're letting him go. You're working to the mic. He's sealing the nose. You're kind of freezing that backside end. And then you take a false step here and you go. You're pulling the guard. And you're pulling the guard. The guard's going to do the kick out. That's what it is. So guard's going to kick out the end because he's first one through. Tackle will follow that up through and get the safety and the running back. Boom, right? So that's GT counter. It's a way to run directly. Oh, Turpin. GT counter is a great way to, basically just move the 3-tech out of the way and get a big on a little in the hole. It's like power, but sexier. So if you want to know the difference between power and counter, on counter, the puller is going to be the kick out, and it's going to hit kind of inside there, right? Whereas on power, this Y would be the kick out, and the puller would be inside the Y. It's like the main difference, other than running back footwork, right? It's just where the puller is connecting. But when you're running GT counter, there's two pullers, so the first does the kick out, and the second follows up through. Dan Casey wrote a book on it, 100 Ways to Run Counter. And it's a phenomenal book. So if you want to learn more about the play than I know, if you want to become an expert on it, even more than me, because I'm not an expert on counter, but Dan is, go get Dan Casey's book on counter. All right, Dak, what you got? 2nd and 4. They've shown empty a lot pre-snap tonight and then motioned out of it. That's been interesting. Caught him in a rotation to 2 deep there. Caught him in cover 2. Probably should have popped that for more than 4 yards, but Niners have to be cognizant that the Cowboys will run here. So they can't have their safeties 20 yards back, Hen dog for $10. Are all the Bengals' offensive line injuries a concern going against the Chiefs now? I mean, I thought they were concerned going against Buffalo, but apparently not. Their offensive line, I think, in terms of pass protection, is still probably fairly weak. But in terms of run blocking, they can fucking move people, right? So as long as they can... Ooh, are we getting a sneak here? Nope. We are lining up with Zeke and running it down their throat. But as long as they can still run the ball and have play action be a factor, that will help slow down the pass rush anyway, right? And that was a big thing that we saw today was Mixon was getting 6 yards a pop for like the first half of the game. And so all the second downs were 2nd and 3, 2nd and 4. Third down was 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. So it's tough to rush the passer and put that backup offensive line to the test if you're constantly having to play the run. So I think the Bengals are going to try to do that again. Establish Mixon. Great ball from the far hash to CD. Establish Mixon and just make it situationally disadvantageous to just set Chris Jones loose, right? Make him have to play the run so that they don't rush the passer. And I would expect we see that in the championship game. Bills couldn't stop it. Chiefs might have a better interior defensive line to stop it, but Bengals offensive line has played really well the last couple games, so I'm not just going to hand it to the Chiefs and say, of course they'll stop Mixon, because, I mean, you've seen the last 2 games. Nobody stopped him. Oh, Talano! Oh, he missed it. Oh, man, he missed a huge play. It's fine. They still got a loss, but Dak almost died. How did Talano miss that tackle? Oh, he just went right over the top of him. Oh, man. He has missed a lot of tackles this year, though, so that's not a new thing for him. That's just a really rough one to miss. All right, 2nd and 14. Got to push the ball down the field. Zeke in a sniffer position. They're telling you it's a pass against double mug. Probably going to back out of it, though. Yeah, they only brought one. So, what? We're looking at 3rd and 8? Is that what we're looking at here? So, 49ers. Let me go in the quarter. I feel like quarter matters here. So in the second half, 37.5% cover 1 here. They're still leaning heavily man in 3rd and long. Looks like some kind of showing pressure backing out to 3. Yep, that's what we got. Oh, and the ball's behind CD. Come on, Dak. He's not been good today, folks. He has not been good today. Hey, Brett, love the content. Been around for a little over a year now. Do you think the Seahawks are a Super Bowl contender with another great draft? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think another receiver would do them good. I think interior defensive line so they can stop the run is critical because they cannot stop the run. Their interior defensive line's garbage. At least when Al Woods went out, they were garbage. They got some young pass rushers I'm a big fan of. Obviously, they got some young DBs I'm a huge fan of. Tariq, Quandre's still there. Linebacker, a little bit of concern. Not a round 1 concern to me. There's other fish to fry there. I think if they don't get Carter, I would trade down, see if we can get Addison to complement DK and Lockett. Worst case scenario, you pick up the Notre Dame tight end. I think he's really gifted. Or Darnell from Georgia, either way. But Carter's best case scenario. If we trade down even further, the Baylor kid, super athletic, Vita Vea looking motherfucker, take him. He's a brick shit house. And then, like I said, linebacker, you can wait for day 2. But they're not that far off, folks. They're really not. Just one good offseason can put them right there. John for $5. Thank you, John. B. Moore is looking at Leftwich, Frank Reich, and Eric Bieniemy as potential OC. Thoughts? I would be intrigued by Frank Reich there. Because I do think that Frank Reich has a lot of very creative run schemes that when his offensive line is functional, work really well. And the offensive line in Baltimore is a hell of a lot more functional than the one in Indy. So I think Frank Reich would be able to do a lot of the same stuff run game-wise that Greg Roman was doing, and utilize that aspect of Lamar's game and also be a better pass game coordinator than Roman was. So I would like to see Frank Reich there. I think that would be a good hire for them. I really do. This is McCarthy's forte, coaching a great team to lose in the playoffs because he's too conservative. Are you talking about taking the field goals? I mean, on one hand, I understand it, but on the other hand, has Dak given you any reason in this game to think that he could convert a 4th and 8? Because I'm not sure he's given me the faith in that. I understand just taking the points. When your quarterback's playing like this, I understand taking the points. Carter, Addison, and who is that? Day and Henley. Day 2 is my dream. I haven't watched Henley yet, but Carter and Addison would be incredible. Also, I am not feeling as confident about the slip, even though McCaffrey is back on the table. We need a big run from McCaffrey to make it happen, and then Brock not throwing 2 touchdowns, and we're still okay for 4, but I don't know. I'm not feeling great. Another commercial break. Like Fox doing what Fox does best. And they're back. So we're back in 21 personnel, that is. Cowboys still in nickel, but they're showing a 5-man surface with Barr and Micah at edge. That's fascinating. That's a different look than they've given us most of the night. Looks like they're starting to get a little bit more worried about that run game by playing a 5-man surface. They got away from the 4-2-5 stuff they were doing. I think counter started to rip them to shreds, and they wanted to force the issue a little bit more up front. Still in nickel. There's another counter run. Sensing a theme. At least I think that was counter. I didn't see the running back footwork, but I saw 2 pullers, so I'm just making an assumption here. Judging by the length of the play call Shanahan just spit out, this is a pass. Because the play calls are a million fucking words in this offense. Oh, no, it's a run. How about that? Okay. I'm wrong. Screw me. So we're going into 11 on 3rd and 2. Cowboys defense typically on 3rd and 2. It's about 33% man. Sometimes they'll run cover 2 if they feel like you're going to attack the flat. Kind of looks like cover 2 here. Well, we're empty, so it's could be anything. Fascinating that they went empty on 3rd and 2. That's so un-49ers like. But I appreciate it. If you're getting Ayuk matched up on a linebacker, you're probably winning. Zachary Kreitz for $5. Thank you, Zach. Is it just me, or is Micah less effective because they haven't moved him around as much this year compared to last? I think they've moved him around plenty this year. He's played off ball. He's played strong side, weak side. I think he's done a whole bunch of different stuff. They had him run the pole in Tampa too. You know, I think that against this offense, they don't give you a lot of clean pass rush opportunities because there's so much play action, there's so many RPOs, and so much quick game. Like, you don't get a whole lot of like actual great pass rush reps, you know, where it's like a 5-step drop on 3rd and long, 1-on-1, no chips. Like, they don't let you do that. So it's tough for a guy like Micah to get crazy stat line in this game. Four strong with a bunch. Timeout? No? Yes? Yeah, timeout. Daniel for $5. Thank you, Daniel. Cheers, Brett. What do you think of the Eagles draft with the 10th pick for the Saints plus their own late pick? I think the Eagles trade down, probably. Unless they get ultra greedy, right? Let's say 3 quarterbacks go in the top 4. Or 3 quarterbacks go in the top 3, back to back, right? Which has happened recently. Happened a couple of years ago where you had Lawrence, Zach Wilson, and Trey Lance go back to back. And then Chicago's sitting there at 4. And if it was me, if I'm Chicago at 4 after trading down with Indy, I would take Carter. But Chicago might be thinking, we have a lot more problems than just one player. let's get even more assets because we just spent $100 million in free agency. Let's get even more guys because our roster is crazy thin. If I'm the Eagles, you package both first-round picks, and then you go up there, and because Javon Hargrave is a free agent. Remember, Fletcher Cox, free agent, if I recall correctly. They've got 2 of their top 3 interior rushers, interior players that are free agents. You reunite Jordan Davis with Jalen Carter on a trade-up for the hell of it. Because fuck you, why not? We're the Eagles, right? But you trade 10 and 32 to go up to 4. You get Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter together again. And you just murder people. That's what I would do if I was the Eagles. It requires Chicago not taking Carter, but in my own fantasy world, that's what I would do. See if I missed any other super chats. I think I'm all caught up. I think I'm good. Yeah, I'm caught up. Sweet. Thank you, folks. Giants fan here. Stop. It's possible, dude. It's possible. Davis and Carter together again. Even if they win the Super Bowl, it's still possible. $31, not $32, right? I don't know, man. If they stay healthy, they could go all the way. They've arguably been the best team in the league the entire year, other than when their quarterback and their right tackle got hurt, right? Another one of those 4-strong bunch looks, but they're motioning out of it. Counter again. But they're not giving it to Christian. They're giving it to fucking 25. Fuck. Name. Shit. Eli Mitchell. There we go. Kegel's Bagels. Bagels. That's a great name. Kegel's Bagels for $2. Thoughts on the Pitt draft? In my opinion, we target OL, CB, then wide receiver. I'll answer that right after this play. Going empty again on 3rd and short. They back out of it. Still hit the quick hitter over the middle. In terms of what Pittsburgh does in their draft, offensive line, corner, more offensive line, corner, offensive line. And just for fun, 7th round, offensive line. That's what I would do. Well, this is kind of a soul-crushing drive for the 49ers here. If they take this all the way down and score and make it 23-12 with like 4 minutes to go, I think stick a fork in the Cowboys. They're done. And you could put it on Dak's shoulders if you want to. The turnovers were on him if they lose. For once, I wouldn't be blaming McCarthy as much as I would the quarterback. And there's Eli Mitchell again, bleeding that clock. I think that play right there ended the game. I know it's only a 4-point game and there's 5 minutes left. I think you get that first down, you're bleeding even more clock. Like, time is the issue here, not points right now. Time. And the Cowboys' defense in the second half has just not been able to stop the run. Once Kyle went off the zone stuff and switched more to, getting downhill with counter, power, all that, Cowboys couldn't stop it. Just ran it right down their face. Finally, they stop it. Surprised the Cowboys aren't calling timeout. I am too. There's 4 minutes left. Now, it's possible they think they can hold them to 3 here. And then you're giving yourself, time to go down the field and try to get a touchdown. But that's a big if, right? Because if you score, you have no time to come back. So they should have been calling timeout a while ago. Luckily, Purdy just threw it incomplete, so that gave him a free timeout. But it's a results over process thing where it's like, yeah, but we're 3rd and 10 and we forced him to kick a field goal. It's like, well, what if you didn't? What if you didn't and you're looking at 2:30 left on the clock, down by 2 possessions? Like I would have been calling it a while ago. I agree with you guys. Like, even if it works, it's still not good process to me. I would always rather have time when I'm down in a football game, not timeouts. I want time. All right, so they held him here. This will be a field goal. You got to call timeout now. Call timeout now? No? Okay. So here's my problem. All right, so if you call timeout with like 3:40 left on the clock, that then gives you more breathing room that if you go out there and you go 3 and out and you have to punt, you'll still have 2 more timeouts and the 2-minute warning to try to force them off the field again. But you just cost yourself 40 seconds and you just have a timeout to show for it. But what if you go out there and you 3 and out right now? Because then you're punting with a little over 2 minutes left to go, and you have the 2-minute warning. But I would rather have the extra 40 seconds and a timeout and the 2-minute warning. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Is that making sense? Like, you want time here. You don't want timeouts. You want actual clock you can use. One man's opinion. All right, so my blame is starting to shift a little bit more away from Dak, a little bit more towards Mike. That last 2 minutes was kind of excruciating. I don't know. Am I wrong? Am I wrong for thinking that you want more time and not timeouts? Like, I'd rather have 40 seconds than a timeout right now. Just in case I go 3 and out. Just in case. But I don't know. You guys can give your opinion. But it feels like now they just have one shot, right? They just have one chance. And it's this upcoming drive. But I don't know. Time is more valuable. Spiking the ball takes at most 20 seconds. See, so it's like what? A net gain of 20 seconds if you just take the time out there? For every missed timeout, it's a net gain. 40 seconds is what? 3 positive plays? I mean, depending on what they are, right? If you're hitting the sideline, a positive play can take 7 seconds. And you can do multiple of them. I don't know. I just feel like when you're down in a game, you only hurt yourself by shrinking the clock. So And I think the fact that the Niners were not taking their own timeouts to guarantee themselves multiple possessions was telling you all you needed to know, which is they were totally fine with bleeding that shit dry. The real question is, if the Cowboys score, do you go for 2 or risk Maher missing? That's a fascinating question. If you think that you can win in overtime, which I'm not totally confident they can, then you let Maher do it. But if you just want to get out of there on the road with a win and go to the NFC Championship and say, we'll see you later, you go for 2. I will never besmirch a coach for just, in a game where you're on the road theoretically being overmatched and you have a chance to get out of there on one play with a win. I won't besmirch a coach for doing that. All right. What you got, Dak? What you got? Oh, my God. He almost threw another pick. Fuck. Oh, no. Oh, no, Dak. Oh, no. What is wrong with him tonight? That was terrible. That was terrible. All right, Dak. Don't do that again, please. Going for it. Oh, almost had it. Almost had it. But you see, remember what I was talking about of what if you go 3 and out, right? It's 3rd and 10. What if you go 3 and out? Like, I would rather be in this 3rd and 10 with 3:30 on the clock than 3rd and 10 with 2:50 on the clock. Because you got the same number of timeouts regardless. As in when you get to the other side of the 2-minute warning, right? And there's your 3 and out. Timeout. You're down by 7. Call timeout. What are we doing? You fucking idiots. Oh my God, you deserve to lose. Oh my fucking God. a minute 20 of game clock from not calling timeouts. A minute 20 lost. Oh, well, we're going to be, on the other side of the 2-minute warning with 3 timeouts. Yeah. And they're going to bleed off a minute from running. Fucking dopes. First down. See you on the other side of the 2-minute warning. So now you're going to call 2 timeouts again on the next 2 plays if you stop them. If you stop them, you're going to call two timeouts on the other side of the 2-minute warning. They're going to be at midfield. And a minute 20 extra on the clock is not going to be in your favor. You fucking buffoon. Oh my God. It's unbelievable, chat. It's unbelievable. Like, Dak played horrible today, but that's inexcusable. Anyway. So, what do you guys think about 49ers Eagles NFC Championship? That's what we're getting. That's what we're getting. Just unbelievable, man. Every year, McCarthy, when you need it most. Every year he does this. Well, if McCaffrey gets 35 rushing yards to ice this game and Purdy doesn't throw a touchdown, we still get 4 out of 5. That still counts for us. So I'll take it. I'll take the 900. For real, though, like if you're Jerry and you see this for like the third straight year, right? Are you not entertaining Sean Payton a little bit? Are you not even thinking about it, Sean Payton? After seeing this, are you sure you're not considering it? I'm considering it. Because every year he does this. Like you can set your watch to it that he's going to do something inexplicable either at the end of the half or at the end of the game. It's just unbelievable. How many picks do you have to give up for Sean Payton, though? I mean, it'd be a late first-round pick, so it still works. They would take it. All right. Let's see what the Dallas defense has. Mike McCarthy, set your watch. What does that mean? All right. Call timeout, Mike. There it is. 153. I'm combing Twitter a little bit to see if there's anybody that has a rational explanation of why you don't call timeout. I have yet to see one, right? And let alone punting. Like we haven't even got to the part where the surrender punt. Like, might as well go for it there. You're already down by 7. Both of those decisions are bad in their own way. Second and 9 here. Let's see what they got. If you get a stop, you have a chance. First down, you're done. Toss, Eli Mitchell, ball game. But he did go out of bounds. But still, the yardage gained, like, and it's a first down, like it's still ball game though. Cowboys going out sad, man. Look at Jerry. Jerry just looks steaming mad. Steaming mad. Did McCaffrey get hurt, by the way? Why is he not in? He hasn't been in like the whole second half. So Cowboys have one more timeout, second and 9 here. So you can get it down to like 135, call timeout again. if you force a punt, big if, you're going what, like 90-something yards in 40 seconds with no timeouts? Because this fucking idiot wasted a minute 20 o'clock. Ugh. All right, 2nd and 9. Stopped him there. Call timeout. If the Niners are smart, they'll run again. Because again, time is more important than yards. Welcome to Philly, Brock. Yeah, that should be fun. Thank you, Daniel, for the $5. Hot Sun for $4.99. McCarthy thinks he can only use his timeouts after the 2-minute warning. Oh, man. And I'm an idiot, and even I was calling this out at like the 5-minute mark, right? And I'm not an NFL coach, not even close to an NFL coach. If even I am saying that, what's his excuse? Oh, there's McCaffrey. But he's in for pass pro. Or running a route. They're going empty on 3rd and 8. Just run the ball. Drain clock. Okay, I guess that counts. That's just a run with extra step if we're calling a screen. Are they going for it here on 4th and 9? That's fascinating. I guess you're kind of in an awkward field position, right? Where a punt might give a touchback. And so, like, the net difference if you fail might be different than the net difference if you punt and get a touchback, right? I could see the logic in it. Unless you just take a delay of game and then punt. So it looks like they're punting. Okay. So Dak will have roughly 40-ish seconds. Unless Turpin breaks a big one here and shortens the field for him. Okay. Turpin needs to just rip one off here or they're done. And fair catch. So we're at the 6-yard line, 45 seconds, no timeouts. If Dak pulls this off, which he probably won't, but if Dak pulls this off, it would be the most remarkable moment of his career. And he's had some good ones. This would top everything, by far. Unfortunately for the Cowboys, they would not be in this situation if Dak wasn't a turnover machine in the first place. But whatever, we're here. All right, little return motion to check man versus zone. Roll protection. Oh, Dak, get out of the end zone. I'm not even a Cowboys fan, and I fucking hate watching this team. Like, how do Cowboys fans do this every year? How do they tolerate this shit every year? Okay, 2nd and 10, 38 seconds, no timeouts. It's a good start. Wait, 33 seconds. 80 yards to go-ish. No, 85 yards to go. I like how there's almost 1,700 people in here just to watch the Cowboys lose. Oh, man. Working the sideline again. Get out of bounds. All the people that have the Dalton Schultz overs are happy as a clam right now. If he's just going to get fed like that. Dak. Oh, God. That was close. Well, 10 seconds. So you're screwed, for one. You're not in Hail Mary range, so we're going to kind of do the little tossy grab ass thing at the end of the game here. Oh, Cowboys. What are you doing? See what happens when you fire Jimmy Johnson? This is what happens when you fire Jimmy Johnson. You end up with shit like this for 3 decades. There are 3 inevitabilities in life: death, taxes, and the Cowboys blowing it in the playoffs. Why are they signaling incomplete? What happened? Oh, he didn't drag the back foot. No. Oh, you're so done. Oh, that is so Cowboys. Oh, my God. He didn't drag the back foot. Oh, no. That's crazy. Yeah, he didn't have possession until right there, and his back toe was up. Oh, my God. While everybody's here, by the way, remember, if you're not aware, this is not the only channel I have. I do have a podcast that I release more content on every single week than I even release here. We're going to be recapping this game, breaking down the film, going over matchups for both the NFC and AFC Championship game over on the podcast channel this week. That is the Bootleg Football Podcast. So if you want more of me incoherently rambling about football in between all the Film Room episodes that you get here, make sure to go to the podcast channel, subscribe, check that out. I'm sure you'll like it. Me and EJ work very hard on it. And there's a lot more stuff that comes out over there than comes out over here, to be perfectly honest. But we think you'll like it. We think you'll like it. Again, that is the Bootleg Football Podcast. Pronger 5 for $10. Thank you, Pronger. I honestly think Cowboys fans should be happy. They managed to win a playoff game. That doesn't happen very often. Go Birds. You know, on some level, you're correct. Winning a playoff game could be considered a successful season, but when your standards every single year, whether rightly or wrongly, are based on the standards of the 90s, which is winning a Super Bowl, winning just a playoff game isn't good enough. You know? And especially losing a playoff game, even to a team like the Niners, who are objectively like a better roster, it's the way you lose, right? The turnovers, the terrible picks, shitty clock management. Like, this doesn't feel like, oh, we just got outplayed. This feels like we shit the bed. And that's a much harder feeling to stomach. It's a much more emotionally jarring feeling. It's the kind of feeling that makes you want drastic change. Even though Jerry has already committed to not making drastic change, this is the kind of loss that is so emotionally traumatizing that it might change his mind. Whether he moves on from Mike, I have no idea. But 3 years in a row, there's been horrible clock issues. And at one point, do we just say, this is what he is? And he's going to be this way every single January. And we don't want to deal with it anymore. And hell, going back to Green Bay, he did the same thing too. So, this ain't a new thing. Brett analyzed the formation. What format? Oh. Interesting. Is Zeke snapping it? Zeke is ineligible? What the hell? The first and only snap Zeke has ever done. Oh, God, Turpin got killed. Oh, my God. What the fuck was that? What the fuck are they doing? You dorks. Dude, you're going to throw it to the smallest dude on the team. He's like 80 pounds soaking wet. What are we doing? All right. Niners, Eagles next week. Here we go. I'm leaving for the Shrine Bowl on Friday, so I'm not going to be live streaming during the conference championship games. But remember, EJ and I are doing previews over on the Bootleg Football Podcast channel this week. We'll be recapping these games and previewing the conference championships. And then we're both going out to Vegas on Friday to start doing draft coverage at Shrine Bowl, Senior Bowl, all that kind of stuff. And then we'll be doing our Super Bowl preview shows from Vegas since we're there over conference championship weekend. So we'll do those shows from there and release those after the conference championships. And yeah, hell of a weekend. Thank you to everybody who was here. You know, if you're new here, like, subscribe. We do film breakdown content and occasionally scribble shit on the whiteboard to explain how counter works. Hopefully you like that. If you want long form stuff, go to the podcast channel, Bootleg Football Podcast, and